What's up, blue chips? Another frustrating day. Only going 1 for 6. Yeah, 1 for 6 today. And we definitely went over our max loss, and that's the frustrating part. At least within each of our trades, we followed the rules. So, let's get to it. All right, traders, so this is going to be a recap video just to give you a heads up. Confidence is lacking today, not going to lie. We went 0 for 5, 3 trades on BTU, 1 on COTY. We were 0 for 1 on VVUS, and we ended up getting a winner right as I had turned the live stream off. It popped back up on the scanners. I saw it was at a pretty key point there at the whole $1.04, and I decided to jump in. But we'll get to that. We're going to start with BTU. Actually, COTY is where we started. COTY, this was a little bit of a heartbreaker on my end because, and again, if you guys are interested in seeing the live trades, feel free to go watch the live stream from this morning after it's done processing. It should be by the time you're watching this. So I even told myself, and you can go listen to it live, that I would like to see the 1250 pop for an entry on COTY. I got a little anxious. I decided to get in because we were already pretty far extended away from that $12 area. So I was pretty happy with the extension there. And I told myself if we pop through 1250, that's where I would just get my ad. Well, that worked. We put our range order in. It started to come back down. We were saying, okay, this is good. And then all of a sudden it just ripped up and made a new high, which is exactly where our stop was. And that was that. So we ended up getting filled. We ended up with a little bit of slippage there as well. It was about 3-cent slippage. So not a big deal because it looks like even if we would have waited for our 1250 entry, and even if we got to add up near the high of this candle, I'm not sure we would have got filled on this candle getting our full 1R, and it looks like it would have popped back up and we would have had a stop right over 13, and it looks like we would have top ticked that stop at 1301, and that would have been frustrating because as you can see, it's done nothing but diminish the rest of the day. So over to BTU. BTU was an interesting one because it looks just like our chart on LTHM from yesterday. So we played this yesterday and it pretty much did the same thing, right? It just kept going and it just never pulled back. And we took 3 separate trades on this one as well. We took one, realized we were early. We tried it again, seeing if we were near the top that time, right here around 11. We were wrong. And then we took another right or right out trade when we thought it was the back end right here, right over here, because we saw it make a high here at 11.10. It came down, it made a lower high at 11.05. It got down under 11 and it touched it and couldn't get back over, so we jumped in short. And it tried to go lower, but then it ended up not, and we stopped at high day again. So back over to BTU, it was a little different, but not really. As you can see, it's the same principle. We got in, stopped out, right? We were a little early. So we looked to get in again, thinking through that 850 area was the key part, up towards 9, and that wasn't it either. It went up through 9. So we kind of let it make its top here, and we didn't wait long enough, obviously, but we kind of felt like, okay, this feels like it could be the back end. As you can see, we waited that extra couple minutes, and we jumped back in looking for the push back down through 9 and hopefully back to reality a little bit, and it said no. So we stopped out at high a day again. And as you can see, it's chilling out up there. So it's just like LTHM from yesterday, and it's very frustrating. Ended up taking 3 max losses on this one because as you can see, we got in both our entries here, and then we actually went, I think we went a little bit bigger size on this one. No, we didn't. It was just 7. We actually went, or yeah, we did go up a little bit. We went to 75. We used 50-50, 50-50, covered 100 on both of those, obviously, and then we went to 75 because we were kind of looking for it to be a right or right out. So we tried to go a little bit more full size, figuring if we were right, we could ride it back down, and if we were wrong, then it would be right around our 1R loss, which it ended up being. And we were fighting slippage on this thing. It was a little bit more spready for a lower price stock as well. So that kind of happened. And so then over to VVUS. So I had some people in the chat saying that they couldn't short VVUS. And if you look at this short here, it's kind of silly. I feel like this is something I would never take for real. So you could say that I broke my rules as far as my entries go. But entries, you can't really break rules because you're kind of feeling it out anyway, right? So regardless, we ended up, just taking the short. It went up to 338. It came back down. We ended up jumping in at 323, looking for this to just kind of fade back down towards its lows, back down towards $3. And it didn't want to do it. So we just stopped out for the quick loss there. And it decided, and this is kind of when I said, okay, I'm done. But yeah, we ended the stream, and literally like 2 minutes later, this thing started ripping. And I saw it on the scanners. As you can see, it's actually up on the scanners again right now. And it's attempting to make a move back up. And I said, okay, I'm going to do what I was doing before. I'm going to see if this is the back end, just like I would have if I had gotten in this earlier, which it would have looked the same, right? We would have got stopped out. If we would have tried to time it again, we would have got stopped out again, and then we would have waited and looked for the back end. That's kind of one of my rules, is a three trades per ticker max, looking to, just find the move that it didn't want to give you. And in this case, it actually ended up giving it to us. We did go half the share size on this one, just because I didn't want to give any more to the market than it's already taken from me today. It's not that I was like scared. It was just I'm not sure if I'm seeing things right today, so I'm just going to scale back and see what happens. And I'm kind of glad I did, because it was a little bit of a confidence booster. Instead of going 0 for 5 on the day, we went 1 for 6. And just knowing that I am still seeing things somewhat correctly, it does kind of at least help in a way. So we ended up getting back what we lost there. As you can see, we are now break even on VVUS after this one. We took this one with 100 shares and this one with 50, so it took a little bit more to get to that point. But that's all I got today. So a little bit of a frustrating day. I'm not too upset with the day. It was just, nothing seemed to want to work out. Yesterday was the same way. Apparently my strategy right now, which this part kind of stinks, because when you're trying something new, you obviously want some confirmation that it's working, but you're never going to know if the market just isn't aligning with your strategy at this point in time. So we're going to stick with it. We're going to give it at least this whole month of February. And in each of my trades today, I followed my rules. So there is a plus to today, right? I did not break my rules at all. The only rule I broke was an overall rule of not trading after I hit my max loss, which is 1% of my account on any given day. So that rule I did break, I'm not going to lie, but every trade that I took, I followed the rules. So that I am actually more happy about. If I am going to break a rule, I'd rather it be a rule like that one instead of breaking rules within a trade, if that makes sense. So don't ever break your rules. I'm not encouraging that at all. But if you are going to break a rule, make it one that's, not going to really hurt you. So as long as you don't let losses get carried away like I used to in the past, and you're following your in-trade rules, I think it's okay as long as you have that set risk and it's not going to blow up your account. It's okay to break that rule every once in a while, especially if an opportunity presents itself like I felt VVUS did here. So that's all I have for you today, guys. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Always appreciate that support. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those down below, or you can feel free to jump in the Discord. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for the live stream. Peace.